Hello, I'm here today for a book talk on The Artist's Way. This is pretty much my Bible, and I will say this is the third time I've tried recording the video. The first time I read a few chapters out loud, and then I realized, like, copyright law, I can't really do that. I am definitely an aficionado, and I love reading out loud, so I wish that that was acceptable, but it's not. So I'm here to just talk about each chapter and kind of the contents of the book to give you an overview of what to expect week by week on The Artist Way. So it is a spiritual path to higher creativity, and it's often referred to as like an AA for artists. And Julia Cameron is the author, and her journey is really in line with that idea of recovery for artists. She was a writer and film writer in that industry in like the 80s 90s, and she was also an alcoholic, and she really relied on alcohol to write and to get into the flow. And it was in her journey into sobriety that she found other practices and tools to really still tap into that creative force and not have to use spirits to get you there, like alcohol spirits, like actually just connecting in with the spirit, the main God, God. And really that's what she dives into right in the beginning, is the concept of God. That's where a lot of our misconceptions and woundings are as artists and just people in this world. And so that's how she starts off. And one way that she refers to God is as spiritual electricity. Spiritual electricity. Think about that. Even when you're praying, right? It's like if you're tapping in with that spiritual electricity, you're essentially like coming online, blasting out your prayers into the collective. And then same thing with receiving, like receiving a message from God is spiritual electricity. You're coming online, you're turned on. So that is part of it. This is a practice in the art of creative living. And along with God, like if that word doesn't sit right with you, you can use any replacement word, whether that's goddess, spirit, great mystery, the oneness, divine, goddess divine, whatever it may be. It's just that concept of connecting in with a spiritual force that is all pervasive all around and really there for us, right? She also refers to God as good orderly direction, God. I don't remember sign language for that. Anyways, yeah, so her journey started, she was teaching creativity workshops in New York. She was called to do that and just started this path, and it became really popular. And people were asking her for tips, and it became like this whole global movement. And one of her teachers along the way really suggested that she start writing a book. And so she collected all of her resources that she had been teaching over the years and put it together into this beautiful masterpiece, The Artist Way. This is my 5th time doing The Artist Way. I've led 4 groups through the journey. Yeah, I believe this is my 4th or 5th. Let's see. The first time was in 2022 in the fall, and I did a small group with my family. Then the second time, that first journey sent me around the world on an expedition, and the second time I did The Artist Way, I was in Thailand by myself, solo journey. The third time was that next summer in 2024. I think. And I was living in Seattle, and I started a group on Patreon. Then the 4th time was in Reno, Nevada at the Holistic Wellness Center, and we did an in-person group, which was really beautiful, and I enjoyed quite a lot. And now this 5th time, recommitting to the path, and I'm hosting a group on Patreon. So if you would like to be a part of that, it's available at any tier level, free or paid, really trying to just make the content accessible and just share the magic, because it totally transformed my life. I can already feel the energy of transformation alive in this journey again, and just really excited about this, honestly. It's open enrollment through fall 2026. So if you're seeing this video between then, you're totally welcome to join. We have 3 weekly meetings that are optional just to come get support on the journey and sharing the wisdom. So much wisdom is shared in these meetings. It's just magic. So, spiritual electricity is this idea of connecting in with spirit, and that there is, a divine creator who we can kind of be in partnership with as artists and creators. And so it's about building that bridge between you and the creator and being a conduit, a channel for that energy. Synchronicity is part of that, and that's really just how God communicates with us through signs and symbols. And so the basic principles she outlines here, and she recommends to put these somewhere where you see them and read them to yourself every day, the basic principles. So I'm going to go ahead and read them to you. I like to just sit with it, feel the message, and oftentimes like deeper insights will follow. So, number 1, creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. There is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. When we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. We are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. The refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God, good, orderly direction. As we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. Our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity. Those hit, right? So if you're choosing to go down the Artist Way journey, I really recommend sitting with these basic principles as often as you remember. They're really powerful, and it really serves as a bedrock for this journey. It's great. And each time you read them, something different's gonna stick. Like for me, it's safe to open ourselves to greater and greater creativity. It's like that edge of comfort, discomfort, growth, transformation. It is safe to be creative. Yeah, so she talks about how to use this book for recovery. It's good to buzz through the contents and see what it's all about, just to have a good idea. And then you can bounce around. I think there's magic in the process. And so starting week 1 and going along the path, there is a chapter to read each week. Each week is on a different theme of creative recovery. For example, week 1, recovering a sense of safety. I'm just going to buzz through them real quick. Week 2, recovering a sense of identity. Week 3, recovering a sense of power. Week 4, recovering a sense of integrity. Week 5, recovering a sense of possibility. Week 6, recovering a sense of abundance. Week 7, recovering a sense of connection. Week 8, recovering a sense of strength. Week 9, recovering a sense of compassion. 10 is recovering a sense of self-protection. Week 11, recovering a sense of autonomy. Week 12, recovering a sense of faith. And then that is the contents. She also has an appendix page, which is really the inspiration for my community that I've created. And it's about forming a sacred circle. So I'll just read you my highlights that I have here. And she says, in her experience as a teacher, the atmosphere of safety and trust is critical to creative growth. And so she outlines kind of a way to do this sacred circle. Art is an act of the soul, not the intellect. When we are dealing with people's dreams, their visions, we are in the realms of the sacred. Yeah, and it's true. As artists, we belong to an ancient and holy tribe. We are the carriers of the truth that spirit moves through us all. And we are meant to midwife dreams for one another. And so the idea of the sacred circle is built on respect and trust, and the images of a garden. Each plant has its name and its place, and there's no flower that is more beautiful than another. And all of our unique differences really contribute to the overall beauty of the space, right? And yeah, she also mentions to bear with the process of growth, dormancy, cyclicality, fruition, and reseeding. You know, there are times where we have to wither away and die, and then there are other times where we're just, you know, nurturing the roots and growth and just all that whole process of becoming and unbecoming that's really innate to life on earth. I think as humans sometimes we forget that we are supposed to rest and wither and decay. It's natural. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's really a supportive space, the sacred circle concept, to come together and just witness each other through the process, ask for support, and just like hold space for the journey, because it really is a personal transformation journey that can really have some profound impetus for change. So yeah. Anyways, back to the book. The basic tools of the Artist Way are 1, the morning pages, 2, the artist date. So the morning pages, she says, in order to retrieve your creativity, you need to find it. And to do this, there's an apparently pointless process called the morning pages. And this is 3 pages, longhand, stream of consciousness writing. Okay? So the idea is that you don't have a preconceived notion about what you're going to write. You're just writing, and you're writing, and you're writing. If you don't know what to write that. I don't know what to write. I'm bored. It's 6 a.m. Okay. She does stress it's important to do the pages in the morning. I'm a little more lax on that because I'm not a morning person, and so sometimes it just feels like an impossibility. And so I think just in showing up when you can, is there's still magic to be found in it. It is extra potent in the morning because it's like, you know, a brain dump. You're fresh. You don't have external stimulus coming in to distract you right when you wake up. So you can really like clear the space to become a more open channel and conduit. Yeah, she says the morning pages are non-negotiable. You know, if you do the morning pages with fidelity, you will see results. But the reality is, like, we live in this world and we must exist and survive and hopefully thrive within it. And there are certain constructs that make it really challenging. But yeah, it's worth setting aside 30 minutes of your morning to show up to the page and make it happen, because it really is where it's in that daily ritual of showing up and engaging with the process that like real magic comes. So trust the process. It all serves its purpose, even if it's not obvious at the beginning. Another thing is that you don't want to go back and read your pages until like later in the journey, and that will be prompted. So resist the urge to see what you're writing and to judge yourself. That's also part of it, is this idea that we have an inner critic in our mind who's saying, you know, oh, that's not good enough, whatever your inner critic voice says. And we're trying to not silence, but not give any credence or power to that inner critic and create anyways, is also part of the idea. The morning pages are the primary tool for creative recovery. And again, it's stream of consciousness. So you're just writing anything that comes up. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be, you know, logical or any sort of, you know, basis other than the fact that you're writing, you're showing up, you're moving your hand across the page. So, yeah. Our artist brain is the creative, holistic brain. It wants to play, it wants to have fun. It's more abstract, magical. It's like our world is so programmed to be in our logic brain that it takes some work to like cross hemispheres and activate the artist brain, and then hopefully develop a bridge between. So, yeah. that is a bit about the morning pages. In week 1, she'll recommend positive affirmations as a way of counterbalancing limiting beliefs, essentially. So you can, with like the last half of your 3rd page, write positive affirmations, whatever sits with you. There's some recommendations in here next week, or just whatever medicine you need to help your mind. Help find peace of mind. So the other tool, we have morning pages is number 1 basic tool. Second basic tool is the artist date. So she recommends thinking about these tools in terms of a radio receiver and transmitter. It's like when we're showing up to the page, we're sending out our dreams, our desires, where we're not satisfied, what we need, what we think, whatever it may be. And then the artist date is like where you can receive wisdom and information, and really nurture the inner artist. It's this idea that all of us have an inner artist, and are we spending quality time with that artist and really nurturing that space within us and filling up our well so that we have energy to give, right? The creative well within us needs sustenance, it needs nurturing, and that's our responsibility as recovering artists to give to ourselves. So the artist state is you with yourself doing something you enjoy. It can be unstructured, it can be playful, it can be anything. It can be going for a walk, or going to the lake, or coloring, or just anything that is something you can do to spend quality time with yourself that maybe you don't make time for, or it's not like valuable, productive work, right? So yeah, you can go just spending time in solitude, and resist the urge to invite other people. Like, it really is supposed to be you for yourself. Yeah. And if you find yourself avoiding your artist dates, like I do, she says to recognize this resistance as a fear of intimacy, self-intimacy. And so, you got to conquer that fear and get real with yourself and sit with yourself and really see what comes up and what wants to, be born from you, or just come together. So yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's kind of the basic principles and the foundational bit for the Artist Way journey. Morning pages, artist date, basic principles, foundational material for this path. For me, the Artist Way has really become a way of life. It's totally changed my reality, changed my world. I mean, when I finished the first Artist Way journey, I left my job teaching and I took off around the world for 6 months, mostly on faith. And it was on good faith. It was, it changed my life. I wouldn't be who I am without that. Yeah. So one last little bit, she does recommend filling out this contract in the book. I'll read it. If you're thinking about doing the Artist Way journey, this is kind of the commitment that you're making. I understand that I am undertaking an intensive, guided encounter with my own creativity. I commit myself to the 12-week duration of the course. I commit to weekly reading, daily morning pages, a weekly artist date, and the fulfillment of each week's tasks. I further understand that this course will raise issues and emotions for me to deal with. I commit myself to excellent self-care, adequate sleep, diet, exercise, and pampering for the duration of this course. Oh my gosh. So when I signed this, 6/23/24. That's pretty cool. That was exactly 2 years ago that I signed this in the book itself. So that feels very affirmative for the journey. Like I said, I'm like super in love with this book. It's pretty much my Bible. I really am a strong believer and follower of the Artist Way. I walk it, I share it. It's like part of my purpose and my mission to, share this magic with the world. So anyways, if you'd like to go deeper in the journey, you can check out Patreon if you're not there already, and we do have weekly support circles for anyone who's wanting to dive in and get real with themselves, get creative, reconnect with spirituality and kind of a new sense of the word. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.